First at 10, never before heard audio from several closed sessions of the Decatur Public School Board. WAND News is still seeking answers tonight. Good evening. Nearly 40 minutes of audio released after the Illinois Attorney General found the topics violated the state's Open Meetings Act. WAND's Chris Carter has been following this for months. Joins us now with what was heard. Chris?
Well, Sean, the audio was heavily redacted, so it doesn't really give complete context, but we do get an idea of some of the topics discussed. It includes things like keeping documents out of the hands of the media, a bonus for assistant superintendent, and transparency. Decatur Public School Board members now heard discussing topics off limit in closed session. On October 27th, the current 7-member school board went behind closed doors and, according to the Attorney General, violated the state's Open Meetings Act. The topic of conversation about adjusting the agenda after public outcry over a proposal to give Assistant Superintendent Jeffrey Dase a $30,000 bonus.
Do you think it's a real good idea to talk about bonuses tonight?
I think we owe the public some transparency, Dan.
No, I don't have a problem with the administrative bonuses. It's more of the specific bonus of Jeff's that caused the grief.
I don't think you can talk about this in closed session.
You don't think we can talk about Jeff's bonus structure? And
no, you can talk about Jeff's bonus structure. What you can't do is talk about how you're adjusting the agenda.
Okay, so I'm done talking about that.
In its ruling, the Public Access Office of the Attorney General determined the board, quote, improperly discussed in closed session reorganizing the order of the meeting and its general meeting structure, end quote. The conversation then turned to the bonus itself and how it should be addressed with the public. The board spent several minutes discussing a rubric and a presentation of it during open session. It led to talk if the public should see it. Listen to what board member Reagan Lewis said about keeping it from the public after concerns were raised by spokesperson Denise Swarthout.
Can I bring something up?
Yeah.
Because the media is on this story, this is going to get FOIA'd.
Well, I still don't think we should put it out there. I think we say we're not ready. We weren't ready. And if they FOIA it, slap a draft watermark on it or something.
Lewis was the only member of the board who answered our request for comment after the audio was released. She told me she was, quote, thinking out loud, end quote, and was trying to salvage the district's perception. But it wasn't the only time Lewis's comments during closed session were determined by the Attorney General to violate the Open Meetings Act. The board also spoke about running for re-election and if voting to approve the bonus for Dase would hurt their chances to be re-elected if they ran.
If the board turns over and we have 4 new seats, then they're like, whatever me and Jana and Andrew think about Jeff doesn't really amount to much. Unless we can get, but going into it, everybody's going to be pissed. Everybody running is going to be pissed about something. It's probably going to be Jeff.
Board Vice President Courtney Carson also chimed in.
The main focal point of running will be to de-seat Beth Nolan and this board, including myself, and to get Jeff the hell out of here.
In its ruling, the AG called out the board for discussing, quote, political considerations during closed session. We tried to speak with Board President Beth Nolan about the closed sessions following Tuesday's school board meeting. She refused to answer our questions.
Hey, Beth. I have some questions that I'd like to ask you about the closed sessions that the AG ruled not properly done. As the president of the board, do you have anything you want to say about that?
I made a statement as part of my comments, and that's the statement from the board.
It was a very vague statement, and you have a lot of members of the community who want answers that you've refused to ask for lots of weeks. Why do you continue to refuse to ask them?
We asked the school district for an official comment regarding these closed session meetings and to speak to all involved. The district denied our request. However, we reached out to Assistant Superintendent Jeffrey Dase for comment. He did sit down with me tonight. He said the bonus was not his idea and why he did create a rubric for the bonus structure. He was under the impression the rubric would be for the following school year and a different position that Board President Beth Nolan had discussed with him.
Board president came to me and said the board felt like I was a flight risk. And because they felt like I was a flight risk, that they wanted to show me support, whatever. And that's when the $30,000 bonus came up. I had nothing, absolutely nothing to do with that coming to me. Even when they said that, I was like, okay, y'all can do whatever y'all want to do. Am I going to turn down $30,000? No.
Now, the conversation with Dase was very candid and nothing was off the table. Coming up tomorrow, we will dive into his desires to continue to lead the district and his hopes for the future. And during the audio released by the district, we did hear the board talking about keeping the rubric for Dase's bonus from the public. Sean, I've sent a public records request in for that, and I've also asked the Public Access Council for some guidance on how we can obtain it.
Thanks, Chris. Reagan Lewis, the only board member to speak with us today, told us the board had no involvement in what was released. She told us it was left up to the board attorney. You can listen to all the released audio right now on our website, WANDTV.com.